just wanted to go over the breathing technique that we use in this class. So Hatha HET is all about creating a bit more of it's a strengthening, energizing, muscle and bone toning class, cross-patterning for the brain, and activating muscles in a functional way, sort of a future-proofing class. Now, in this class, we need to do a lot of coordination with our diaphragm and our pelvic floor diaphragm, so that as midlife women, we're not putting unmitigated intra-abdominal pressure downwards, 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 yeah? So I'm a great believer in making sure that we do exercises, but that we stay pelvic floor safe, because it is a lot easier to be in a preventative mode than to deal with the results of too much intra-abdominal pressure, unmitigated, and potential prolapse organs, which unfortunately when we lose our estrogen, we do need to be especially careful of how we exercise, yeah? So I want you to remember that when we have our chin drawn back and create a slight constriction on the back of our throat, and we puff the breath out through pursed lips, like that, we're keeping the diaphragm high. So this is used if you're birthing and say you're ready to push, and the midwife has checked your cervix and she said, hang on a minute, you're not fully dilated yet, or there's a lip that needs to be cleared on your cervix, don't push yet, and you're like, I need to. You do this to keep the diaphragm high so that there's no pressure on the pelvic floor. Yeah, so we want to do the same thing. Keep the diaphragm high, it'll keep our pelvic floor diaphragm lifting. The key is, though, we do this for a little bit, and then we have to expand the pelvic floor muscles, and that's when we go into the relaxation breath. Yeah, so we'll do stuff, and I'm going to get you to do the activation breath, and then we're going to do releases, and I want you to go straight into soft jaw, extended exhalation, and very conscious expanding, releasing of your pelvic floor muscles. Yeah, does that make sense? Fantastic. Alrighty, so warming up the body, rinsing off the fascia, opening up your feet. So we're going to be using our feet a lot and really emphasizing the contact into the ground. So just wobble your feet from side to side, mobilize your ankles here, spread your toes. In fact, whilst we're here, let's just give our hips a little jiggle as well, knees a little jiggle as well from side to side. That's it. And then we're going to go forward and back. So you rock up onto the balls of your feet and then back. All the way to the balls of the feet and back. And then maybe get a little bit of movement with your arms, pulling back. Keep your chin drawn in. And just normal breathing here. In and out, in through nostrils, out through mouth. Good. Mobilize those feet. Fantastic. And then big lift and rolls of the shoulders. And I'm just going to get you to do a little jump. Now, you don't need to be doing big jumps like this. If it's fine with your pelvic floor, do. Otherwise, just kind of shaking from side to side. And I'm going to get you just to move your hips and your feet. So we get a bit of movement around the waist. Yeah. Let your arms flop from side to side. Kind of doing a bit of a groove. Very good. All right, take your weight onto one leg here. Plant down. Now I'm going to imagine that we've got a half orange underneath the arch of the foot, and you're pressing the orange into the ground, juicing the orange. Come up onto your other toes. Bring your hip in. Bring your knee in. You're adducting your hip, and then out, in, out. Take your arms opposite. Now, keep your spine tall, so don't roll over like that. Keep your spine nice and tall, so we can start to activate through here, the thoracic area, get our lungs working, bit of toning on the waist. But actually what we're mainly doing is getting this area here, this psoas area, hip joint area warmed up. And then if you can move over in one sliding action, do so. Otherwise, pause, in, out, and then activate with your arms as well. So because we're going across the midline of the body, this is great for our brain as well. Helps to wake up both hemispheres of the brain. Now, I'm going to get you to start to activate with your breath. So puff out as you take your arms across and your knee in. Don't worry about breathing in. Don't think about breathing in. The air will come into your lungs of its own accord. Just do the puffy breath out, out, out. Like, fantastic. Feet wide again, circling the pelvis. Again, make sure your feet are having good contact with the ground, especially through the outer edges of your feet. We don't want knees dropping in. Weight is slightly back in your heels. And as we swirl the pelvis, we want to make sure that our bum goes right back behind us. So we're not doing little circles like that. We're going back, back, back. Yeah, so if I was against the wall, I'd be going skin the wall, skin the wall, skin the wall. Take the arms out to the side, thumbs up, little fingers down. Draw your hands slightly back, so we're squeezing the muscles between the shoulders. These are your rhomboids. Drop your shoulders down. I want you to see if you can feel this there, bit here, activating. As we swirl the pelvis around. Take long, smooth breaths in, right through the back of your head, sliding past your ears into the back of your head. Get the chin drawn back into your neck. Good. Now out of the way, arms up, shoulders down.
I'm still going the same direction, is that right?
Other direction with your pelvis. Okay. Other direction. Good. Mobilizing all through the pelvis. Fantastic. Slow this down. Okay, so right down, pause here. We're going to very, very slowly push down and out with our feet as if you're pressing those oranges into the ground. Breathing in and then breathing in again and then sighing the breath out. So this is where we recalibrate the nervous system. Bring your heart rate back down. Sigh the breath out. Push down with your feet. You want to push the floor away. You're juicing those oranges. Beautiful breathing. Really nice, all of you. Hang on a minute. Just watch that you don't do this. Can you see what happens when I round my back down? So we want to keep a crown on our head. You come down with a crown on your head. You go up with a crown on your head. If we round through the upper back, we'll drop the crown. So keep your torso tall. The work then goes into your bum muscles. Breathing in. Slowing the breath out. Good. We'll just open up the rib cage. Take your feet a bit wider. Up and over to one side. Slide down a little bit more. Now we're going into the relaxation breath. So jaw relaxed. And you're hoping to open up here. And then slide all the way over to the side. So we stretch all the way down to toes. And the other way. Up and over. Chin in. And then all the way. Very good. And then back again. Take your feet a little bit closer again. Back and up and back with your arms. So full circles through the shoulder girdle. Looking at your hands if possible. So we want to make sure that the mobilization of the whole shoulder joint, strengthening absolutely, but also mobilizing all the way behind you, big circle. So if you're going out to the side here, see if you can slow it down and turn your body with your hand. You want to get that full movement. Excellent. Okay. Now, drop your bum back. If you need to use your chair for a second, just to feel your bum going towards something, do that. Drop your bum back. Take your arms into your sides here. We're going to pull action first. Yes, we do a lot of pushing action in yoga and in weight sessions and things, but we don't do much pulling. So I'm going to get you to, from here, cross the body, grab something, pull it in. Cross the body, grab something, pull it in. Cross, grab, pull. Cross, grab, pull. As you pull, you puff the breath out of your imaginary straw. So weights in the heels now, bum is behind you, you're hinging from your hip joints. Right, so once you've got the pattern, now we've got that rope. Helen, you're at the sailing club and you're pulling that rope in. So pull, 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 pull. Keep your elbows close to your rib cage. Keep your back strong and straight. Let's hinge slightly forward, so you're pulling up from the ground, pulling those elbows behind you. Keep your back completely straight, activating the muscles between your shoulders. Puff the breath out. Good. Take a deep breath in. Extra breath in. Ah. Take your hands on your chair and just walk yourself back into a tabletop downward dog. Okay, so bend the knees as much as you need to, toes slightly in, heels slightly out. So we want to keep the back straight. Knees can be as bent as you need to have them in order to have a straight back. We want to draw the base of the ribcage slightly in, so the area just below the bra strap feels like it's pushing slightly towards the ceiling. Take some long, smooth relaxation breaths here. Heart is at head height, or head is at heart height, to help us to get our breaths back and just calm the nervous system again. Good. Okay, so bend the knees and then press your feet into the ground and slightly straighten the legs, just a little bit. Bend the knees and then slightly straighten them. Bend the knees and then just to your edge, yeah? And you're pushing down and out with your feet. The inner arches of your feet are staying quite lifted. Bend and then stretch. Bend and then stretch. Good, bend. I'm just going to get you to lean back slightly, so the weight is now on your heels. Draw your hands off the chair, come up a little bit, and pause, Utkatasana. Take your toes out a little bit for support, and then we're just dropping down again, keeping your bum where it is, and then pushing the floor away, squeezing the oranges into the ground as you come up. Drop back down again, controlled, and then press the floor away, slowly coming up. We're breathing out as we come up. We are lifting those pelvic floor muscles, zipping up towards the rib cage on the rise. And as we come down, breathing in. Slow. Down, breathing in. Good. Now, if you want to make sure that your back muscles are activating, you're not rounding, keep your arms here and push your elbows, so your hands back, so activate through your elbows on the rise. Activating into the triceps. If you are using weights, little hand weights, you always grab those and just have a little bit of extra weight in your hands. Coming up on the rise, on the breath out. So our pelvic floor muscles are lifting as all of the weight of our organs is dropping. Beautiful. Just give yourself another rest in tabletop, straightening out the spine, toes in slightly, bend the knees to start off with. Nice deep full breath. Let the breath sigh out of an open mouth now. Breathing in through the back of the nostrils, opening into the back of your lungs. Push down and out. See if you can lengthen the back of your legs slightly. Base of the ribcage is in. So we're doing a little bit of a scoop here. Yeah. Try not to have a rounded back. So if your back is rounded, you bend the knees and you lift the tail. And then over time, we'll get the hamstring lengthening as well. But very, very important that we're not doing that. So this is where we're aiming for. Good, okay, so slowly coming up, take 1 foot forward. And we're gonna come into some lunges with our pelvic floor muscles activating. So we can drop down, you can use the chair for stability. Now, you might want to grab your blanket, especially if you've got any knee issues. Grab your blanket and put it just under the ball of your foot. Sorry, the front of your foot, so the heel is off. So you might want to just raise the front of your foot so we can really get the pressure through the heel. And remember, we've still got that orange there. As we come up, we're squeezing the orange into the ground. As we come up, we puff the breath out and we're activating the pelvic floor. So here we are. We're going to breathe out, push the floor away, and lift up. Drop down again. Breathing out, pushing the floor away, coming up. Now, once you've got that, see if you can take your hands off. It's always the chair's always there. You can always put one hand on it. But we're going to just work primarily on the heel and the pelvic floor and the breath connection. Good. Pause here for a moment. Just check your forward. Actually, do you know what? We'll do this. Just pull yourself back. Get your hamstring to lengthen as well. Pull the toes back. So as soon as we do any kind of pausing, relaxation breath, make sure your little toe edge is pulled back. Okay, we'll do that again. Coming forward, drawing yourself up for a moment, drop the back knee, and then push the floor away to extend. Drop the back knee, push the floor away to extend. Drop the back knee, maybe taking the hands up, dropping down, maybe picking something up off the ground, dropping down. Breathe out as you come up, down. Use the chair for stability if need be. We're really just wanting to get that connection with the heel running through the legs, up through the pelvic floor, up through the body. Good. Come down. Pull those front toes back again. Hamstring stretch, opening up the sitting bones. I've got my belt here, so I'm just going to use my belt as well. Put the belt around the ball of the foot. Breathing in, sighing the breath out. Good. So we are amping up pelvic floor kegels massively by adding in this lunge when we make sure that the pressure's through the heel and we make sure the breath is coordinated. Otherwise, we're in danger of putting a lot of weight down and not mitigating. Okay. Whew, my heart rate. Alrighty, so come up on your back toes, heel is on the ground. Make sure your back is straight. So just if you are using the chair, please don't do that. Just you might need to use the back of the chair. Make sure your back stays relatively straight. You're hinging from the hip joints. So dropping down, push the floor away to come up. Dropping down, push the floor to come up. Dropping down, push the floor to come up. And you might pretend you're picking something up and come up. If your balance is feeling good. Breath out.
So this is with the other leg, yeah?
Yeah, so we swap legs.
Yeah.
Swap legs. That's it. So keep it small, yeah? Keep it small. And even this should feel it in your bum. Yeah, so it's all about your glutes and your pelvic floor, the attachment through the tailbone into your pelvic floor muscles. And then we might add arms if balance is okay. Beautiful. Just bring that down, pull your toes back, give yourself a hamstring lengthening stretch, maybe rub into the top of the hamstrings. I'm going to hook my belt around the ball of the foot just to bring those toes back. Good. Okay. Now we're going to add a stretch with some more strengthening for the legs. So bring yourself back, give yourself a tabletop downward dog. Amazing how down dog starts to become a rest pose. Toes slightly in, knees as bent as you need to make them, and then pressing the floor down and out to lengthen those legs. Nice smooth breaths. Let these recovery breaths be sighing exhalations. Good, soften the knees. Take 1 foot forward. Okay, so coming into half moon pose, we'll try with the chair and then without the chair, yeah? So with the chair first. So front leg slightly bending, back leg just kind of very light. Let's take the forearm on the chair to start off with. Lean your weight forward. Now we should feel that weight in the heel and the imaginary orange underneath the arch of the foot. We're going to push the orange into the ground to lengthen the back leg up. Keep pushing down, down, down with the standing leg to bring the other leg up. Good. Now we want to get the stretch right here. And you might find you can turn the body slightly. So this takes the stretch into the adductors, the inner thighs as well. See how that feels. And you might even take the top arm up. And if you're doing this version, we want to make sure the top arm is pretty much on top of the bottom shoulder. Keep breathing, chin is in. Maybe even taking the arm up and overhead. Good, so this is great for stretching the spine, lengthening legs, also very strengthening on that standing leg. So we're going right here into the hip joint. So bend the standing leg, come back down, and just give your back another stretch out in a half tabletop, half downward dog. So we'll try that on the other side using the chair. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, forearm on the chair. Take all the weight in the front heel, you're squashing the orange. Now push the foot down into the orange, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. As you press down, your back, your leg lifts. Extending, extending into your edge. Slow, steady Ujjayi breath now. So we want a slow, steady breath. Slow, steady breath. There's no pressure on the pelvic floor. So we're allowing the whole diaphragm, pelvic diaphragm connection, smooth breath. Maybe turning, use the chair, maybe turning so that we take the stretch into the inner thigh a bit more. Maybe stacking. Maybe taking the hand up. Slow, smooth breath. Keep the chin drawn in, and you're trying to pull the crown of the head in one direction and these back toes in the other direction. Good. Slowly coming down. Give yourself a good stretch out here. Fantastic. Coming down to the ground now. All right, take those knees wide. Slide yourself into a froggy position. Let your forehead rest on the back of your hands. You want to get a deep stretch into the inner thighs, into your glutes. Breathe into the back of your lungs, expanding your back towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out now through your mouth, you are releasing, 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 softening. Good. Okay, coming up onto all fours. So we've switched on glutes and we've switched on our balance. Let's put that together. Hands nice and wide, shoulders are directly on top of your hands. Before we go into our extended pointed dog, I'm going to get you just to switch on your core. So tuck your toes, draw your shoulders into the back of the sockets, and then push the floor away so we kind of spread out between the shoulder blades. Do your puffy breath, lift up your pelvic floor so the feeling is like you're stopping yourself weeing. Scoop up through your lower belly so it feels all your corsetory muscles are sucking inwards and upwards. And then push the floor away and see if you can suck your knees a tiny bit off the ground. So pressure right down through the heels of the hands, or if you're using fists, through the fists. Shoulders directly on top of hands. You're pressing out between your shoulders, so we're not sunk here. And we're doing puffy breaths out. We might even pull our knees together. Good. So come down. We've switched on core muscles. Bring the knees towards each other. Flatten those feet. Push your leg up behind you. This is my left leg. Now, pull the toes down and the heel is behind us. Squeeze your glute so you lift the whole leg a tiny bit. So we're really focusing on squeezing that left glute. Draw the base of the ribcage in, and then take your weight ever so slightly forward, so just very slightly forward. Now this, as it is a good all-over strengthener. If you're able to take your right hand off, thumb up, little finger down, arms straight out from the shoulder, keeping your chin tucked in, so don't drop your head, don't lift your head looking straight down. Keep puffing the breath out, stabilizing the body, and then slowly come back down. Give yourself a stretch for a moment. Extended child pose. And back up onto the fours. Set your shoulders, press the floor away, base of the ribcage in, lower belly and pelvic floor switched on. Other foot out behind you. So there's my right foot, squeezing right glute. So there's a little squeeze here to bring the leg a little bit higher. So we're not high, we're about pelvic height. And then maybe taking that left hand off slowly, not using speed at all, just using control, breath, weight bearing. Good. And then slowly coming down. Take your knees wide, take your elbows on the ground, take your hands up towards the ceiling, chin is tucked in. Let your chest drop down. So we're squeezing between the shoulders, squeezing underneath the armpits. So good stretch into your triceps, into the armpit area. Fantastic to open up into the pectoral muscles as well. Deep breath in, opening the back of the rib cage, and then breathing out, letting your chest sink down. If it's comfortable to do so, maybe take your legs a tiny bit further apart, toes out inside of your ankles on the ground, so like a frog. So we're just going to get a bit more opening through the back of the pelvic floor muscles in this position. So now we're back to the relaxation breath. Very good. Ooh, slowly coming up. Take yourself onto your bottom, hands behind you. Drop your knees from side to side. Gently press down through the inside of the top knee. So pressing down here. So we're going to go right here. This is going through the quadriceps. We're going into this rectus femoris muscle here, and also the sartorius muscle. So we're going into some big muscles right across the front of the thighs, into the pelvis. Very good. And then come and sit with your legs out, hinge forward. So use your blanket underneath your bottom. I'm just going to grab my strap here and pull the arms up, taking a couple of, as you bring your arms up, pull outwards with your strap. So we use the back muscles, upper back muscles, squeezing between the shoulder blades, sliding those shoulder blades up and down your back. That's it. Beautiful. Draw the base of your rib cage slightly in, so you're not flaring. Your torso is working, so all of your core muscles are activated here. You can feel like you've got a bit of a corset on. Beautiful. And then a slight pull over to one side. Breathing deeply to open up the rib cage. We're opening up those inner thigh muscles. Good. Let's just give those feet a little swirl as well. Massage the ankles. Tummy button to spine. Breathe out, tummy button to spine as you come up. And then the other side. Again, maybe let's just massage those ankles around. Good. So doing lots of different things in this one stretch. Again, breathing out, tummy button to spine. Oh, good. Give your whole upper body a swirl, like so. Massage the whole shoulder girdle. Other direction. Wonderful. And then take the arms down, give yourself a twist. And the other side. Very good. Take that. Just gently cross those legs. So one ankle's in front of the other. And I'm going to get you to flow forward, go into the hip joints, let your head go. Scoop up through the heart center, come up, swap the feet to the other side, and then hinging from the hip joints, folding forward, pausing as soon as you feel that stretch deep in your hips, and then let your head go, adding a little bit of extra weight here. Sighing the breath out. Scooping up through the heart center. Good. So letting those shoulders slide into the back of the sockets. Big massaging circles up and back, up and back, up and back. Wonderful. Holding them there. Lateral stretch. Always good to keep your spine. Some massaging side to side. Daily side stretches. And then a Sukhasana twist, rinsing the spine, rinsing all of the nerves that attach to the spine. One direction, other direction. Good. Just come and sit for a moment. Feel the length of your spine. Feel the chin slightly back so the head is sitting right on top of your neck. Take a moment. See if you can feel vibration underneath the skin surface. So feel the contours of your vessel, your vehicle through this lifetime. See if you can just feel that the prana is the life force. We've been stretching, squeezing, opening up these nadis, these energy channels that run around the body. Notice the sensation of air against your skin. Notice the muscles between your eyebrows and around your eyes. See if you can soften those muscles. Mentally saying to your body, thank you, thank you, thank you. Take the fingers out to the side, turn the palms. Imagine your palms are filling with fresh vibrational energy. And as you slowly breathe in, pull that energy up and around your body. Hold the top of that breath for a moment, looking upwards, and then just sigh it out. Again, deep vibrational breath in. Hold the top of the breath at the eyebrows. Bit of noise. One more. Deep, full breath in, and then an extra bit of breath. Double breath. Hold the top of the double breath. Timba. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.